story time on how I moved to Texas and ended up trapped in a house with my Warlock Freemason ex husband. I'm going to try to make this quick. There are a lot of years behind this story, so I'm going to try to condense it and explain it as best I can. I'm not used to story time, so let me get into the flow of this. Also, I'm doing this story time in order to tell you about the lessons that I learned. I'm not just talking to be talking. I'm definitely going to share what I learned from this situation and what I would have done differently. And also, hopefully, it helps someone else moving forward. I married my ex husband when I was 18 years old, met him when I was 17. He was 21, about to be 21, and we met on a chat line on the phone. I was homeschooled, Christian, stayed in the house, wasn't allowed to date, so I was just on the phone trying to find somebody to talk to at 17 and trying to be a teenage girl the best I could. So I'll tell that story later on. But yeah, 20 years later, almost 20 years later, I'm here in Texas. How did this happen? In the divorce agreement, we have shared custody. And from the ages of 6, by the way, we have 2 children who are currently 17 and 18. When they were 6 and 7, I started to send them with their father to wherever he was for a year, and he would send them back to me. This is before we got divorced. We just recently got officially divorced in 2020, signed the paper. So for all of these years, me sending them over to him was not in the papers. It was just something that I did because I wanted them to have a relationship with their dad. So over the years, I would send them to wherever he was. And once they turned 13 and 14, I think it was 2020, when they came back with me and they didn't want to go back. So a year later, 2021, it was time for them to go back, and they decided they didn't want to go back. And being that I had just signed the divorce papers, I did not want to be in contempt of court, and I wanted them to go where they were supposed to go so I didn't get in any trouble. But we got a teenage girl and a teenage boy who are adamant about what they want, and they feel like they should have a say so in where they live. They were tired of going back and forwards. They really just preferred to be with me. I mean, most children want to be with their mom, and that's just what it was. So I told them, all right, we'll just move to Texas and share. You guys, you can go back and forth that way just to make it simple, because I was just afraid of getting in any trouble. Before I made this decision,
Oh, okay. Damn. So she said, I'm gonna go to Texas. Nah, I think the course would have understood, you know what I'm saying? But like she said, she didn't want to get in trouble, so.
he had offered for me to come live in a house that he had with his girlfriend, his former girlfriend, who had left him abruptly. That's another story. When he asked me to do that, I considered it for about 24 to 48 hours and changed my mind. There were so many signs that moving to Texas was not going to be a good idea. The dreams I had a dream once where he was in all black, enshrouded in darkness in my backyard. His house was in my backyard. I had a house, he had a house, but it was his in my backyard. And I would run out of my house to go to him and show him things. He was just sitting on a rock in all black in my dream. And that creeped me out. I looked it up and I was wondering, like, what's up with the darkness? Because he was covered in darkness, but my house was just, under the sunshine. And it's like once it got to his house, it was just darkness and he had on all black. So that was kind of scary to me. I was thinking, is this a sign? But at this point, I didn't even have a lot of options because he was wanting the children. And I was getting a lot of phone calls from his uncle, who's a lawyer. So I'm just like, I have to move. I even saw a lot of YouTube videos where people were prophesying and psychics were saying, oh, this person is trying to kill you. This person is trying to sacrifice you. Be careful. There was one tarot reader that I watched. She went live and she only had like 2 people in her live, but I wanted to support her. So I was just watching her live, pumping gas one day, And she was like, "Oh, ask me a question." And there was only a few people in there, so I figured I should ask her a question to give her something to do. And I'm like, "So, how do you think this move to Texas is going to turn out?" The Ten of Swords popped up. Anyone who knows, the Ten of Swords is not a good card. And I was like, "Oh my goodness. Wow."
All right, see, like I ain't really into all of that stuff, like psychic readings. What happened to that lady? Y'all remember that lady that used to be coming on the TV? What was her name? That she used to come on the TV every commercial. The black lady who used to do the card readings and stuff. What was her name? But I'm not really into stuff like that, y'all.
Okay. So I was upset at myself really because I was just scaring myself before I did something that I knew I had to do. Like I don't even feel like I had a choice. But for some reason I'm just looking into how I should do it and if I should do it. And I'm being told, no, don't do it. But I still did it. I applied to an apartment, I got approved, and I moved. I drove from Baltimore, Maryland, all the way to Houston, Texas, in my minivan with my children. But when I got there, I was trying
Miss Cleo. Y'all remember Miss Cleo?
to, get there and settle in before I started dealing with him again and talking to him or seeing him. And I instructed my children not to say anything. But as soon as I got there, he messaged my son on Instagram, and my son let him know that we were there. And I was upset about that because I really wanted some time to, settle in and figure everything out before having to deal with that whole situation. So when he messaged my son and my son let him know, then that just kicked off everything. He's like, cool, well, I'm on my way. And the first couple of times I saw him, of course, everything is normal. It's not, there's never been any real outward drama. A lot of the issues that we've had have already always been subliminal, under the table, like low key, snarky, shady type of things. It's never been a lot of arguing and yelling and fighting and all of that. Even though there has been a time where he did beat me up, but that's another story. So, let's I'm just going to move forward and talk about everything that happened after he knew that we were there. So, yeah, everything was cool just for probably a good couple of weeks. Nothing was really happening. It was uneventful. Basically, I was just trying to make sure I could secure work so that I could pay my bills. When I first got there, I just drove Uber, did Instacart, did all of that stuff until I found a job. Eventually, I did find a job, and it was paying $20 an hour. It was a really good job. And I went for my interview, got the job, went to orientation. This is when things started to get weird because at this point, he has to move out of his house that he was in with his ex girlfriend. He says that the owner of the home is selling it or something like that. And at this time, also, he is not employed. He's kind of working as a contractor for some company fixing computers. So he gets jobs here and there, but it wasn't like a steady place where he was going and getting a steady paycheck. So
So he had to move in. Oh, that boy slick.
he was pretty much going through it before I got there. He was going through it because the girl that he was dating, she just up and left and with her children. And so he was just in a mood about that. But when I got there, he had a girlfriend that he was talking to that was long distance. So I'm thinking, all right, so you're good, you're cool. I don't have to worry about you bothering me because you got a girlfriend. But me being me, I'm a big people pleaser. Not anymore, used to be. I decided to offer to help him pack his things so that he could move. And he had gotten approved for an apartment, but he needed to stay with me for 2 weeks before his apartment was ready and he had to be out of his house. So he was moving his furniture from his house into my apartment and putting some stuff into storage. And he was just going to sleep on a couch in my living room until he got into his apartment. Um, so during this time is when I'm starting this job, and these are my first weeks on the job. So I'm spending time at his house helping him pack. And while I'm there helping him pack, there are moments where it's like, oh, come give me a hug, or, playing music, songs that's saying, oh, I need your energy. I need your energy. Give me your energy. Like weird stuff. And I'm just like, okay, maybe you just like my energy. I don't know. So I'm over there just helping him pack and all of this stuff. This is when the weird stuff starts to happen at my job, which is how I eventually got fired from my job after only being there for like 2 weeks. So while I'm helping him pack, I get this new job. All of these things are happening at the same time. We are getting closer and we're spending more time together. It's still not like we're in love and we're getting back together. It's just that we're just around each other, which has never been a problem for us because once again, he's very subliminal with his way of acting. It's not outright and direct. So we're getting along and I'm helping him pack and we're moving furniture and just doing a whole bunch of stuff. Also, I'm still at my new job. Now, here's what happens at my job that just all seemed so suspicious. There is a new guy that comes in and gives us a speech on, well, an introduction, should I say, on who he is and why he's here. He is the new HR director. Tall, 6'3", light skinned, 25 years old. Does not look like he has anything to do with HR, but who am I to judge? He tells us that he has a background in special forces and he has security clearance. And I'm thinking to myself, how does that have to do with anything HR? You used to jump out of planes and do special things for the military, and you're in HR at an online car dealership. Okay, but while he's telling us this, while he's doing his intro, he is staring at me from across the room. Like I'm far, far away from him. And he's just staring at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm just like, why are you staring at me? What the heck is going on? At the same time, I'm like, well, maybe he's just a flirty guy or he just likes me or something. I don't know. But I'm still creeped out as to why he's making such intense eye contact with me, especially when he's saying certain things like security clearance. And at the end, he says, oh, you guys can come to my office and talk to me about anything. And just anything you want to talk about, just come to my office. That's what he was staring at me while he was saying that, too. So I'm just like, all right, he's a weirdo. Go back to my desk. Next day, I get a message on the company messaging system asking me to come to his office. And I'm just like, what the hell? Why am I going to the HR director's office? I don't do anything wrong. I'm literally sitting here. For reference, I am an extreme introvert. I do not talk to people because my whole life people have treated me weird. So when I go into jobs, I just do my job and be quiet. This job I came into, I was trying to be friendly because I always start off trying to be friendly. All of the girls were just rude. They were all my color, black women, and they would just snap their neck when I say good morning just to purposely not respond, purposely not speak to me, just being rude. So I'm like, all right, so we're on that timing as usual. I'm just gonna sit at my desk and mind my business and be quiet and do my job. So I go to his office and I'm just like, what is this about? I'm nervous. He's like, oh, come on in. And I'm just like, hey. He's like, you good? I'm like, no, I'm kind of nervous. He says, why are you nervous? I'm like, because I don't know why I'm in here. He was like, okay, just have a seat. I'm sitting there looking at him. He's online shopping for lawnmowers. He lets a couple of minutes pass. He says, oh, are you still nervous? And I'm like, yeah, I'm still nervous. He said, why? I said, I just want to know why I'm in here. He said, so what can I do to help you with your nervousness? He said, do you want to listen to some music? I said, sure. I said, the new Kendrick just dropped, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And I was like, you know what? Never mind. Let's not play that. That sounds like it might be inappropriate for the workplace. He's like, okay, I'll pick something. He picks the Isley Brothers song where they're like, um, Groove with You. I think it's Groove with You. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a weird song to play at work, but okay. He's like, you want something to drink? I'm
Especially 25. She said that nigga was 25.
like, cool, give me some water. He gets me some water. So I'm still sitting here watching him shop for lawnmowers. Eventually he's done and he turns around and he's like, so what do you think you're in here for? I said, I have absolutely no idea. And he's like, yeah, so your supervisors are telling me that you're too standoffish, that you haven't been socializing with everyone else. And I know people like to say that they came here to work, but socializing with your coworkers builds company morale. And it's very important that you build relationships with your coworkers. And I'm like, yeah, I tried to do that when I came here and everyone just ignored me and treated me like crap. So I just decided to just do my job. And he's like, oh, well, did you document that? I'm like, no, I didn't document it. I documented it in my brain, but I didn't write it down. It's nothing new. Women usually treat me this way. He's like, I just need you to keep trying. I need you to put forth that effort. He's like, all right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna check back with you in a week, and I want you to let me know every time you try to talk to someone and they ignore you. I want you to write it down. Every time you try to socialize and someone is mean to you, I want you to write it down. And then next Wednesday, because this was a Wednesday, we'll meet again and we'll talk about it. I'm like, okay. But then he just keeps talking. Now he's talking about his personal life. He's talking about his ex girlfriend. He's talking about being a Scorpio as well, because I'm a Scorpio. And he's like flexing his arms, leaning back in the chair, putting his arms behind his head. He has on this hot pink shirt that's really tight on his muscles. Now, mind you, he is fine. Okay. Very fine. But I'm not thinking about him like that because, first of all, you're HR. Who flirts with the HR director? That's literally against HR rules. So I'm just like, oh, yeah. He's asking me about the last books that I've read and just trying to get to know me. Like we're low key on a date. And so we're talking for like an hour just about being a Scorpio or about the books that I've read and what he thinks about relationships. I'm not inputting in this conversation. I'm just letting him run his mouth. And then at the end, he's like, oh, yeah, I noticed you did something to your hair. It's really nice. I was like, thank you. And then I just get up and leave. So I'm leaving. I'm thinking to myself, like, is he flirting with me? Like, this is kind of weird, but okay. I don't know how this is going to turn out because you're HR, so you're not supposed to do that. And you're 25. At this point, I'm what, 30, 35? And I'm just like, all right, just go back to my desk. Next day, I'm doing my work. And mind you, we're at a company that doesn't have a lot of work to do. So this next day, I decide to go looking for work to do. And while I'm looking for work to do, I see him again. I see him in the hallways. He's like, I have on a Crenshaw shirt from the Nipsey Hussle store. And he's like, oh, what you know about Crenshaw? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just wearing a shirt. Give me a high five. Everything is cool. Everything is cool. So the next couple of days, I'm just doing my work. On the third day, he calls me to, well, he doesn't call me to the office. Another lady calls me to the office after my lunch break and says, yeah, so we've decided that we're just going to let you go. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, so what's the reason? She's like, performance. Performance. First, this job doesn't even have, can't even really judge your performance because they barely have work for you to do. What we're doing, I'm a tag and title registration specialist. So we have to register the cars that are being sold online from this company. But because this company likes to buy and sell cars without titles, no one can fully register their vehicles because titles are missing. So most of the cases in our computer don't have titles or don't have insurance or don't have something, so we can't complete the process. So we have to wait until someone has everything they need in order to register their vehicle, and half the cases don't have everything that they need. So we're sitting waiting for people to bring us folders every day of things, of cases with everything that they need. So those last 2 days, what I was doing was going back to the archives in a room with all of the folders, trying to see if any cases had new documents added so that I could complete the process. That's performance for me. But I got fired. And so I'm like, it hasn't even been a week. Like, I haven't even spoken to the HR guy about what has happened. I'm blown, standing there with my Smoothie King cup, like, what? Okay, so let's recap and look at the situation for what's happening here. When I moved to Houston, I had a new place and a new job. And my ex-husband was in a house that was about to be sold and he had to move. And he was not employed gainfully and fully at a company and was going through it. Now that I've come, now that I've exchanged energy with him, now that I've been around, now I don't have a job, and the place that I'm in, I'm about to lose. And now he has a new job and a new place. Now, of course, this could have just been a coincidence, right? Because at this point, I'm still not thinking about this. I'm not assuming that this is what's happening. I'm so engulfed in my situation that I don't even realize the swap that's just happened here. I'm not even paying attention to it because I'm not a hater. So I'm glad you have a new job so you can help, with the children or whatever, so you can just be happy. But looking back at it, looking back at this whole situation, I'm noticing what has happened. But while I'm in it, we just got fired from this job from some guy who has security clearance in the secret services or whatever, who's come to my job to be the new HR director and who has fired me. And now that I get home, I see a sticky pad in my box with the phone number on it. This phone number is to the receptionist. The receptionist was very kind to me, very sweet. She told me to call her if I needed anything. So I text her to kind of get more answers about what happened, and she just doesn't know. She's just trying to be supportive. And at the same time telling me that the HR director, Antonio, has asked for my phone number. And I'm like, he should have it already. He is HR. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead and give it to him because I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. She gives him my phone number. I don't hear from him until 30 days later. I'll skip forward to that just real quick to get him out of the way. 30 days after I get fired, he sends me a text message and he just wants to talk. And he doesn't have any answers for why I got fired. He wants to date. I asked him what happened. He can't tell me. I asked him if he still works there. He says no. So you just started this job as an HR director. I'm not talking about just a regular associate. As a director, and you don't work there anymore. You haven't been there for more than 2 months, more than 60 days, and you don't work there. You just got the job, and you fired me, and only me, no one else, just me, and now you don't work there. Sounds like you were put on assignment. You were put on assignment to come and get rid of me from that workplace. And that's what happened. So yeah, he wanted to go on a date. He wanted to smoke. He wanted to exchange pictures. None of that is happening. I don't want to go on a date with you. I don't trust you because it sounds like you were continuing your assignment. It sounds like you wanted to date me and possibly try to get me pregnant, try to do whatever. I don't know, because they like to do that too. They love trying to get you pregnant. But that was the last conversation we had. Once we were texting about that, once I found out that he didn't work there anymore, that confirmed everything that I was suspicious of.
Okay, shout out to her. She seen the red flag. She ain't even going to it. She ain't even getting into the shit. You feel me? Because a lot of motherfuckers, they be getting into it and going on down the road. Cause she like, this seem a little bit, nigga. I'm gonna holler at you. So, okay, let's go. Because I thought this story was about to turn into something with him. But, okay, I'm following you.
Because this whole time, I'm just telling myself that I'm tripping. Everything that has happened up until this point, I'm still convincing myself that I'm the crazy one, that I'm tripping, that I'm just being paranoid, and this is just how life goes, and it's no big deal. But the more and more the story goes on, the more clear it becomes that I am attached to an energy vampire. Someone who is draining and siphoning my energy for their own benefit. Because I remember what I saw when I came to this state. I remember what I saw when I came to Houston. I remember what I saw when I went into his house and saw little blue chews laying all over the place and empty liquor bottles, and the house is not clean, and you just don't seem to be in the best of spirits. So now all of a sudden everything is up for you, which is great, but why, as soon as everything goes up for you, everything is going down for me? That is what happens when you attach yourself to one of these warlocks. They will drain your energy and use a straw to pull all of the life force out of you, and you will watch them rise. You will watch them excel, and you will watch yourself be drained. You will start gaining weight. You will be confused. You will be tired all the time. You will be confused about what to do next. And then they will start putting love spells on you, and you'll start thinking about them all the time. At this point, we were separated for years. I was not thinking about being in a relationship with him. As soon as I got around him and all of this stuff started happening, now it's just like he's on my mind all the time. And I'm trying to figure out, what are we going to do next? So are we going to be in a relationship? Are we going to commit? Because you touched me today and you kissed me today and you're texting me and you're asking me to come over and watch movies with you. So are we going to be in a relationship? Are we going to commit? And I'm just like, why is he on my mind like this? I wasn't thinking about him before I got the text Texas, it's just a lot of weird stuff will start to happen. Not only will your life go down, but all of a sudden you're going to be madly in love with this person, and it's going to be almost borderline obsession on why you can't be in a relationship with them, or what they're doing, or how they feel, what they're thinking. You're overthinking. And then when they come around you, they're going to start making sly little snarky remarks that's going to tug at your insecurities, going to trigger your insecurities, and have you in your head, have you wondering if you're good enough, and just constantly in your mind. That is the point, is to put you in a state of fear, put you in a state of confusion, sadness, longing, lack, and you live there. The worst part about it is, you don't know where it's coming from. You think it's everything but what it is. You don't notice what is happening until way, way, way down the line. I know that's what happened for me, and that's why I'm here talking to you, because there are so many signs that I overlooked. There are so many red flags that I overlooked in this situation. And when I look back, I literally handed my life over to him when I moved to Texas. I handed my life over to him, and it's still in his hands. And every single day he plays in my face. That's what actually made me make the post that went viral on my page. That day, he was playing in my face.
I was just gonna say, she should have never went to Texas. You feel me? Especially if you had everything that you had going for you in Texas. And it sounded like the only reason was because the kids said that they didn't want to go back. I'm quite sure if I would have told the course, hey, my babies don't want to go back to goddamn they daddy house, this what you call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they should have been already. I think that would have worked just fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't know though.
Okay, so now I'm unemployed and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do about this place. I applied for different jobs and I do get hired for a customer service work from home job, and I have to wait a few weeks in order for it to start. During this time, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do about somewhere to live, because I'm not getting paid to pay this rent. I know he's going to get an apartment. I've seen his apartment and it's not big enough for all of us, but you know, I'm thinking, well, maybe I can stay with him, but I'm still not wanting to do that. This entire time, I have been trying to just stay self-sufficient and self-reliant and independent on my own in order to keep my sanity, my control, my power over my life, and not be drained and not have to be stuck in a situation like I am now. So I decided to get an Airbnb. Once it seemed like it was time to move, I didn't wait to be evicted, I just left. And so I rented out an Airbnb while I was working my new job. And then every time I got paid from my job, I would just rent out the Airbnb again. But it got to a point where that was not going to be sustainable. So that's when I'm like, yo, I'm going to have to stay with you. Can I just stay at your apartment until I get a new place? I already have another job, so I can just get a new place and I'll be good. So of course he says yes. Once again, he has a 2-bedroom luxury apartment. It's like a roommate floor plan, so the rooms are on opposite sides of the place. It's very small, extremely small, and we're kind of just all crammed into the house. And I'm working from home, and at this time, we're still cool. Low-key kind of dating or having like some type of weird situationship. So I get it during this time. Now, mind you, I'm trying to apply for a new apartment after I'm already being evicted from this apartment. So I'm asking him, can he assist me in getting this place? Because I don't know if it's going to be on my credit or not. So he says he'll put in an application. Well, he'll apply or co-sign for me. But that's about it. I'm paying for everything. I'm paying for the application fee, paying for the deposit, everything. So it's not like I'm being financially supported in this process, but he is playing a part in it. It took a long time to get it done because I kept having to like ask him over and over again, hey, can you sign this? Hey, can you send this? Hey, can you print out your pay stubs or whatever? And it's just, you know, prolonging. Eventually I finally get approved. And by the time I get approved, the rent has gone up $300. And that $300 made a big difference for me because at this point now I don't have food stamps. So I'm stressed out. And I'm like, how am I going to pay $1,800 a month for this apartment with no government assistance for food and my car note and my insurance and my phone bill, like the light bill, everything. And I'm just crying. I'm stressed out. I'm like, how am I going to do this? So then he comes to me and he's like, why are you crying? And I'm telling him why. And he's like, okay, well, you didn't have to leave. You could have stayed. And I'm like, well, we already got the apartment approved now, so it's kind of too late for that. He's like, well, you know, I'll just help you out with the rent so that it's not too much on you. Don't worry, I got you. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. This is another reason why I wasn't thinking that all of this was going on during the process, because in this situation, you got to keep in mind that they are not going to overtly be your enemy. It's going to seem like they're low-key like your savior. You're going to find yourself in very unfortunate situations, and they're just going to be there to help. And they're going to be like, oh, what happened? Oh, I can help you. Oh, you can live with me. Oh, I can give you this. Because one, giving gifts is like an agreement. It's like a contract that you have when you receive gifts from people. So it's a very big thing to give someone a gift and to receive a gift from someone. So during all of this time, all of this whole circumstance, I'm thinking, oh, you're helping me, and it's so good that you're still here for me, and I just appreciate you being here for me, and what would I do without you helping me? I'm just being grateful. I'm not thinking this. This is why I have to keep reiterating, because it sounds like while I'm telling the story, it sounds good, right? It sounds like I have someone in my corner. It sounds like I have someone helping me out and looking out for me while I go through these hard times. So as I listen to myself tell the story, it also makes it sound like I'm being ungrateful or I'm being paranoid and I'm blaming someone else for the things that are happening in my life. But as the things keep happening, that's when you start to realize what's happening. It takes time for you to notice the pattern. So I'm just like, yeah, thank you so much for offering to help. I appreciate that. So we move into the apartment. So now I'm at the house, at the new apartment, doing my work from home job, rebuilding, reestablishing myself, still doing Instacart and Uber Eats and stuff just to make money to pay for food, working, doing whatever I can to make ends meet. And then for 2 months, he helped me with the rent. And then the third month was tax month. So I got my taxes and I said, well, you don't have to help me this month. I got it. And from that point forward, nothing else. So after that month where I paid for the rent with my taxes, following that month is also the same time when I decided to stop dating him, stop going on dates, stop going to his house, going to his apartment, and allowing him to touch me or kiss me. Because at this point, I'm like, we're not going to commit. I'm not getting any type of commitment out of this situation. So I just want to let it go so I can be open to something different. Once I made that decision, that's when I stopped getting help. That's when I stopped getting help with the rent. I thought it was because of the taxes, but it wasn't just that, because I just stopped getting communication at all. And then it became official that I wasn't going to be able to keep paying the rent. That's when he texted me and said, I bought a house. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, you guys can just come move in with me. And I was like, no, I don't want to move in with you. And at that point, I just made it my mission to do whatever I could to avoid moving in to this house with him. So at this point now, I'm still working my job, but that's about to come to an end because they are changing it from work from home to mandatory in office. The office is an hour away. It's just a major inconvenience to turn it to in office. So now I'm just like, what am I going to do? Everything is just spiraling. Everything is just going wrong. Like there is just bad luck dangling over my head. It's not typical for me to have bad luck. Usually I'm the lucky one. Usually God just comes through for me in the most random ways. I'm always taken care of and things just seem to work out for me all the time. In this situation, it was literally the opposite, where it's just everything is just not working. So I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to move into this house. I'm already suspicious. I've been suspicious for years, but I'm not thinking it goes as deep as it goes. I keep on trying to convince myself that I'm the crazy one, because a lot of people think that we want to believe that something is happening, or we're in denial and we don't want to be seen as crazy. I would actually rather be crazy than for this to be true. I would rather somebody just give me some medication or I go to a therapist or something and then all of this goes away and none of this is real. So I decide I'm going to just stay in my car and work Instacart and Uber Eats all day long and make as much money as I can. And then at nighttime, we sleep in the car at the truck stop. Once again, I know it's probably not a good thing to have children out there like that, but at this point, now I'm really starting to be afraid, because not only did he say, oh, come live in this house with me, now I'm hearing things, I'm getting visions, I'm getting dreams, I'm hearing stuff on different videos and YouTube videos and prophecies that there is insurance being taken out on me. My phone is showing me stuff about insurance. You know how your phone shows you things that you're thinking about, but I didn't even think about this. Like all of the predictive texting, everything in my phone is telling me, oh, someone has insurance out on you, someone is trying to sacrifice you, someone is trying to do this to you. And I'm like, am I going crazy? Like, so at this point, I'm very hesitant to be around him. I'm really not wanting to be in this house. So I just decided to just tough it out, sleep at the truck stop, come back to the apartment and take showers because the lights are off and it's very hot. So I'm not just staying in the apartment, just sitting there. I'm out and I just come back and forwards. And until one day, my battery just suddenly is not working. Now it's leaking fluid, it's smelling like rotten eggs, and I'm trying to get jumps from people. I'm having to get jumps in order to get from here to there, and this battery is still new. The car is still fairly
Yeah, I'm about to say usually when it be having those type of problems, it's the battery. But said the battery was new.
new. So I'm trying to figure out how this battery just started. Once again, bad luck, just random stuff happening, right? So one day after we work, I get pizza and we go to the park to have a picnic. At this park is when my car just decides to die and the jumpers from other people is not working. The jumps is not working. So I'm out there all night trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I call one friend from my old job and she's not able to help me. And so I just have to break down and call him once again. And then he shows up and I'm just very upset that I had to actually call him, because when he does show up, he's bumping the music all loud, and it's just like an I told you so, a flaunty, arrogant energy when he pulls up. And I'm already mad that this is happening. I'm already upset that it's just thing after thing after thing that just keeps happening to me, and I have to keep calling him. Every single time something happens, I have to go rely on him, and I keep trying to avoid relying on him, but it just keeps going back to him. So I'm just like, fuck. He shows up and, you know, the jump doesn't work. So we get in his car, he drives us home, and then he gets his insurance people to pick up the van the next day to bring it to my apartment. When the tow truck guy brings my van home, he tries to jump it with his portable jumper and it jumps. I'm like, wow, would you look at that? So now we can jump it, but I still need a new battery. We make an agreement that he's going to give me a battery and I'll give him my portable jumper in exchange for the battery. So everything's good from there. As soon as that gets good, now I'm getting an email from my car, the lien holder to my car, telling me that I'm up for repossession and that they can track my car anywhere based on the license plate. And all the tow truck drivers now have license plate recognition. And once they see my license plate, they'll know that it's up for repo and they can take it no matter where I am in the country. So now I'm like, oh my God. So at this point, I'm just frustrated because it's like, if it's not one thing, it's another. So you know what? I'm just going to go to his house. I sent him a message. I'm like, okay, I'll move in with you. Just let me put my car in your garage. He says, okay. And we move. We move into the house. When I get there, his old car that he's been working on that doesn't run is sitting in the garage, but it's diagonal at an angle. So my van doesn't fit in there. He says that he's going to scoot it over with some jack, but never does it. So there's never any space in the garage for my car. So our son just moves into the garage and makes it his bedroom. So now my car is sitting in the driveway. Being here in this situation has drained me in different ways because of the fact that I was emotionally invested. On top of the fact that as a
Okay, she's answering why didn't she leave?
woman, I feel like this world has pitted men and women against each other, and we need each other in order to build. So in order for me to be the best woman that I can be, I decided that I'm not going to allow the enemy to attack a family unit. And I felt like me deciding to not leave him was me fighting that demon that was there to attack the nuclear family. And that's another way that he got to me, because my mission isn't about my ego. My purpose isn't about my ego and how I look to other people and my feelings. So him hurting my feelings wasn't enough for me to leave. Him not acknowledging my birthday wasn't enough for me to leave, because to me, I'm not bigger than the program. And the program is building a stable foundation for these children. The program is building something that's firm and solid so that if something happens in this world, we have something to fall back on. That was the program for me. So it was very difficult for me to just decide to up and leave, because I felt like it was selfish. It would be selfish for me to put my children through hard times and have to be out here being homeless and camping and out in the streets just because somebody hurt my feelings, just because somebody forgot my birthday. So I'm thinking this over time. I'm like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Like, just deal with it. But as time is going on, I'm realizing no progress has been made. When it comes to my purpose, no progress has been made. When it comes to this household, no progress has been made. There's no food saved up. There's no money saved up. There's nothing that has been done since I've been here for the program. The program is not even going on right now. But here I am putting the program before myself. So nothing is benefiting. The only person benefiting is the person who gets to come home to a family. The person who has someone there whenever he needs that energy, whenever he needs that boost, that attention, that ego stroke, you can just come and get it. You're the person who gets to be around a woman that is not pressuring them and fussing and cussing and starting drama. There is no drama in this house. None. We do not fight. We do not argue. I'm very understanding. I'm very patient. I'm very forgiving. Over these past couple of years since I've been here, I have been an angel for him. I have put no type of pressure or stress on his back. If anything, I've taken it off. He hasn't even had to do anything to earn the things that I've done for him, because I call myself earning my keep. So that is the reason why I ended up being in a situation for so long, is because I kept telling myself that I'm not bigger than the program, and who cares how he treats me. I'm here to make family work. I'm here to create a foundation for these children. But then as time goes on, you realize that you're wasting time because nothing is being accomplished. No foundation is being built. There is no commitment. There is no consistency. There's no progress. There's stagnancy and death. So when I tell the story, it may sound simple. It may sound like, oh, that's no big deal. But when you look back over the past 2 years of me being here and the fact that nothing has changed, the fact that I've asked about saving food, cleaning the garage and getting a deep freezer and stocking up on food and supplies for just in case something happens, nothing. There's no savings account. The lights went off in Texas for a week and we had to use our neighbor's generator because everybody in the neighborhood is prepared. Everyone has a generator, everyone has 2 vehicles, everyone has what they need. But nothing is being done here. There's no true leadership in this house. There's no program in this house. This house is nothing but a cage. It's simply a cage for me. It's not a home.
Okay. I was under the impression when I was read it that she was like he had like trapped her, like, you know, like you ain't going nowhere, like, you know what I'm saying. But she doesn't mean like that. Okay, I see what she means now. But I wish she would have just stayed where she was at. You know what I'm saying? She seemed like she was doing good. Like I told y'all, it was all because of the only reason why I heard she moved back was because of the courts. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't want to get in trouble, which I thought the courts would understand. She just made a bad decision, y'all. And it seems like, dang, I thought this was, this is going on right now. So I mean, as of right now, if this is still going on, she just need to, you know, see, I don't got no kids and shit. So you know what, like when people be talking about like, staying for the kids and making sure the kids gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no kids, but I'm just saying, shit. If I did, nigga, y'all niggas would be all right. I gotta be the one that feel goddamn safe. I can't be around this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Stressed out around them motherfuckers. So, you know what I'm talking about? So fuck what to me is fuck the kids. You know what I'm saying? How they feeling? This how I'm feeling to take care of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I see what she's saying though, as far as the stuff that she was saying. A lot of people feel like that, staying for the kids, but I don't know. She just made a bad decision, man, and she need to get on up out of there. She need to find her a nice little job. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Nice little car. Get that battery, whatever the case is, situated. Or I think she said they got repossessed. She just need to, you know what I'm saying, get her own ball rolling and leave up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking about a time. I think she was held hostage and stuff like that. But nah, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? But she just need to get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? She'll get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? You got to put the work in. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But again, she should have never went back to whatever state that she went to. She should have just stayed where she was at. Got they divorce. It was over. It was over. They got it finalized. The divorce. It was over. You know what I'm saying? But she done found her way back into it. You know what I'm saying? My boy slick, ain't he? Make sure y'all like the video. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me. It's your boy Ray. Big play.